Speaking of locks and loader, here goes Brandon Sorensen. A great initiation, high on the bank. Needs to throw some more angle at it. Look at that thing wavering. He is flirting with that wall, and that wall is unforgiving. Haley very low on the bank, and you talk about the speed of Brandon's car, and it's very evident right now as Andy Haley gets gapped right now, going past that inside clip. Brandon maneuvers and Haley rotates, spins, and that's just going to be, unfortunately, the Drift Wizards nail in the car. So they wanted to leak out right, so that's why they truncated that finish line. Here we go. So Nick Novak now looks like he's found that special sauce. That Novak run the tires. BMW, look at Jeff Jones hopping. Look how soft that suspension is. That thing was just absolutely a pillow on cloud. And in that third outside zone, Novak looks like, you know, I spoke too soon. Looks like he is working it out. He just needed that clean air versus that chase position. Speaking of chase, Jeff Jones jumping back to Pro this year. United States Army, BMW. Osoli initiates, working his way up top. Masayama not shaking too much. The car's very settled there. Now Osoli, you see pulling up that front right tire. You can see that thing rip up into the power alley. Masayama a little late on transition. Want to take a look at that? And it looked like Osoli hung it out to dry. Masayama couldn't really go anywhere. Let's take a look at it again. Right? It seemed like he hung it out there.
That's a great spot coming off the bank.
Bro,
man.
Those are like the smoke people. That's the smoking section. Literally not just smoking lung guards, but also cranking some smoke and debris in the face. Here we go. Masayama and Juku racing. 86 ripping right now as Masayama and Osoli cannot be shaken. Yes, sir. Into that second outside zone. Masayama brings it on into the third outside zone. Osoli comes up a bit short than United States Army BMW. Now pass it inside. Into that last zone. Osoli transitions. Masayama stays in it. Podium. He dreamt about it, he said. And finally, there he is looking up at James Dean. I mean, everybody looks up to James Dean. He's tall. Jack Shanahan out front. And look at Castro. Boom. Finds it right there. Well done. Jack Shanahan backs it in. Dumps like a truck. What? BMW into that third outside zone. Again, there's that grip I was talking about. Castro, I think, might have got a little disrupted with that bumper tap of Shanahan. Oh, no! Shanahan shuts it down before the finish line. Absolutely. Bluebird day. Here we go. Tommy Lemaire. The XPN Corvette. Rudy Hansen chasing him down. Tommy Lemaire high on the bank. Looks like backing it in. Sensors are absolutely going off. Smashing that back left, and that's gonna retire him real quick. That back left corner smashing in. Rudy doesn't need to complete it. This will be an advantage for Hansen. Tommy Lemaire at a disadvantage. He can fix it, get the car back out there, but I'll tell you what, those Corvettes, not the easiest. Mom and Dad, here we go. Now initiating in. Good straight line approach. Brad Dan comes out of angle. He is riding the wall. That's not where you want to be. You just want that back bumper, not that driver's side. Rome Charpentier does need to complete the entirety of this run. He will have an advantage. Brad Dan Burkett having issues. He crawls his way, tail between his legs. Yeah, man. Back, but how big of a role does that play? And that was something he brought up on the podium with his victory. So we'll see if it lands well here on a very abrasive track here. I mean, it's like 5 grit sandpaper. It eats him alive. And look at that, Freddie. I mean, just no doubt the placement of that car, and just so settled. The car is stuck to it like a Dyson vacuum. Now, oh, buddy! And just I talk about that, looks like Freddie shut it down.
In that chase real hard. Osmo makes a bit of a momentum change there. Outside zone 2 looks good. Outside zone 3, and this is what we got to watch for.
He stops. Oh, I could see the smoke coming from your ears and the back of that Supra, but it doesn't come from the back.
It's a really weird scenario.
Go, James Machine Dean and Brandon Sorensen. James Dean initiates high into the bank. Brandon Sorensen tucks right in, right out of the gate. James Dean, you can see a little correction with that wheel, that right-hand drive Mustang. Look at Brandon Sorensen, right in that cockpit, exploding that back bumper off. Coming to that second outside zone to the power alley, the power boulevard, into that third outside zone. Brandon Sorensen has to dive back just a little bit. Now he's going to tuck in on this last outside zone, try to establish some dominance. And James, I mean, just obviously his home country, Europe, Drift Masters, and here in FD. I mean, just an absolute weapon and just an all-around nice guy. Brandon Sorensen initiates, James Dean tucks in. Would like to see him tuck back a little bit there, but look at the proximity. James the Machine Dean right there on the door of the BMW. Both of them doing very similar tasks. Brandon Sorensen really exceeding that track line. And James Dean now tucks in. Sorensen, really good execution and placement on that third as James gives him a little hate tap, not a love tap. You hate to see it, but you love to see it at the same time. Currently third in points. He's got a real championship run here, but he's going to need James Dean to make some mistakes. There goes Adam LZ, locked and loaded. Look at the car, minimal wavering. Again, that chase position, Tommy Lemaire, and there it is. So talk about that slickness. You wonder if Adam LZ and his spotter are taking notes. Absolute great execution, very dynamic into the second and the third. He backs it in and then just flicks it around. Great transition for both the drivers. Tommy, I'll tell you what, in that chase, Matt Field, Chris Forsberg, both these guys on net vodka, but both want to win. Matt Field, the beast of the bay in that Borla performance. Corvette out front, Chris Forsberg chasing down, tucking in, and Matt Field, look at how settled that car is, absolutely ripping into the power alley. Forsberg, you see lunging, and you just see how smooth Matt Field is. Forsberg diving in a little bit shallow on the outside zone 3, both of them tight on the inside clip. Looks like we got a little nose job there. Ryan, is that correct? Just want to make sure. All right, back to the action. All BMW affair from an old school to a new school. True school. Dylan Hughes, Adam LZ. Hughes will lead. Again, local legend. He's your BMW boy. Royal Purple GT Radial BMW leading right now as Dylan Hughes comes down into the power alley. Brings it on in. Wow, what a great execution. That was so smooth. Timed so well. Adam LZ dives in on an 836. That front right, not the right angle exactly, but aggressive, yes. Local legend, Adam LZ will lead. Again, third in points. Can he jump up to second? It's going to be a big ask as Drift HQ BMW. Nice angle. Dylan Hughes not giving him any room whatsoever. Dylan trying to grind onto that second outside zone. Hopping his way into the third. Dylan Hughes dives in, shallow off outside zone 3, but Adam brings it into that inside clip, and now that final outside zone. Adam LZ maxing out that angle.
Even in that zone, Dylan does a good job to adapt to it. Inside clip, Adam already really looking really full of angle, and then almost, I mean, to me, Adam was going to over-rotate.
Yeah, perfect storm scenario here. Adam with the maxed out angle. Dylan with the shallow. And light up the day. Here it comes. James Machine Dean transitioning to the outside zone. Matt Field a little bit lower than James Dean and a little less angle. James locked and loaded, dialed in. Coming now into that power alley goes James, now transitioning into the third. Matt drops into formation. Look how deep James Dean is. Absolutely backing in all the way up to that Nitto tire, into the wall, and brings it on home.
Yeah.
Dio Shihara just texted me and said, let's do it. But you know what's going to do it right now? Matt Field or James Dean. Here are the finals. Matt initiates. Where's James? James is way down there on the bank. Matt is leaving it all out on the track. Wreckers or checkers for Matt Field. Going to this power alley. He straightens out quite a bit. He goes off course. Matt Field finds himself on the wrong side of the lines. And this is James Dean's victory. Did Matt Field make a major mistake? Looked like contact was made. Was he shoved out of the way?
Line there as they come off. Matt Field decels a little bit to get that contact.
Rick.
Oh man, that momentum change, that big discussion in our drivers meeting this morning.
It really came into play for this final battle.
I knew it. I knew it was going to come back.
Hey, I'm glad it's now in the finals as opposed, you know, again. Yeah. You talk about the momentum change, the decel area off the zone 1 into the power alley. Bang.
Here's the question though. Was Matt Field decelling still in the zone, or was he decelling in the correct spot?
I can see his horoscope through his nose pretty so well. Here we go. Jared Madison, open it up. And getting to that second, a little bit of correction there in the outside zone 2, going into 3. Look at Matt Field, you can see him adapting to more of a straight line approach. Madison gets to the dirt. Oh, that's way off. Yeah. And that's smart approach. Look at Matt Field adapt to the unfortunate mistakes of Derek Madison. Castro, Ben Hobson. Castro gets the first podium earlier this year. Ben Hobson would love to see him shine that big old Mustang. He knows is that inside clip out of the way, now into outside zone 3. I want to take a look at Castro's initiation once again. We were kind of elaborating about the conditions now to outside zone 4. Castro drops in, Ben Hobson does as well. He's all up in the smoke and Ben Hobson goes off. That'll be him going way off. Andy Haley, the drift wizard here in the Evil Auto Works BMW. First outside zone, pass it inside clip. Outside zone 3. Did he hit that red and white? Again, maybe tap it just kind of like the dirt. And speaking of the dirt, 1, a 2, a 3. That is going to be very unfortunate for Andy Haley. I believe James Dean will reap the rewards there. Outside zone 4, he brings it all together. The evil auto works. It clear and concise. Chicane again around the bubble. LZ drops in. He bursts the bubble, but you're allowed to do that. And then as a chase vehicle, it's that second outside zone. Literal, a lot more concise here. He needs to put down a strong lead run if he wants to get this advantage. And Adam LZ, let's be honest, needs to make a major mistake given that Ryan Literal went off. So not the tidiest run from Adam LZ, and Literal does shoot 17, 18 for the final round. They're going to be there as well. Dimitri Brutsky, Chris the Force Forsberg initiating that first outside zone. Brutsky rips that BMW past and inside that third outside zone. Getting the dirt. Oh, and Brutsky spins.
Man.
And Brutsky takes himself out. He had a gap on Chris Forsberg. Forsberg will complete the entirety of this run. So,
He could be very aggressive.
He will.
He will.
You said that definitively.
Yeah.
Like, oh, there's no doubt the dozer's going to be banging into him. Come on, Dylan. Deliver. Jacob said it. Now do it. Dance. Here we go. It's slam dance. Going to outside zone 3. Attaboy, Jacob. Look at that. That's not the announcer's curse. That's the announcer's gift.
Man, Dylan, no, great transition from Dylan Hughes. Look at this. Tucks in the pocket, bit of contact, and he's giving it back to Connor Shanahan all the way through here.
Back off.
But he did.
No, he's on the wrong side. Ryan Turk out front is Rockstar Energy Drink, Toyota GR Corolla. And Christopher Forsberg dropping in. Ryan Turk to that outside zone. Now into that third zone. Here comes Forsberg. Ryan Turk very settled. And oh boy.
Oh,
wow. That is way off course. Forsberg continues on. It doesn't look like there's contact, but Ryan Turk overshoots outside zone 3. So here we go. Matt Field, the Beast of the Bay, the Boiler Performance, Heat Wave, Lean Customs Corvette out front, Garagistic BMW initiates in tow. Perfect placement on an inside clip by Matt Field. Slingshotting away into that third outside zone, but Rome, holy cow, here, marinating, smoky, holy cow. The amount of smoke off of Matt Field's car, completely spy huntered. Rome sharpens here. Matt Field, the Beast of the Bay, Boiler Performance, Corvette, bang, slides it into the outside zone 1, pass perfectly, inside clip 1, the one and done. There goes Dylan Dozer, once again! Oh, wow! This is a new one as well. We have a BMW on Corvette mounted him. Okay. Well,
oh my.
Let's make sure Matt's okay. And talk about a new one. Matt Field, thumbs up. Dylan Hughes, he mounts the Corvette.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Oh, man.
Holy cow. I mean, you could use expletive words like, I know Dylan was really trying to him, but not literally with car-on-car action.
Oh, big hug from these competitors. That is epic.
Ow!
That is absolutely epic. And you know what? At this point, I'm not shocked by any of this anymore. This is insane. And he is just barreling through on the chase. He is just going for it. I mean, outside zone 3, epic. They both get off. They make that connection. And next thing you know, there's a BMW on top of a Corvette. You'll be watching this highlight for years to come. Look at that. Front wheel on front wheel. Shoots the hood off. Matt Field left the parallel park with that BMW on top. Let's see. I don't think I need to get sick of watching this. Man, look at this. Dylan Hughes coming in with speed, makes that first tap, and then just stays in it. Front wheel on front wheel, always does weird stuff. We've seen it time and time again. And there it is. Man.
For the win here in Utah, Dylan Hughes initiates outside zone 1. Pass that inside clip into outside zone 2. Good execution. Dylan needs to let it all hang out because he is at fault. So now going to outside zone 3. Dylan right there. Matt Field stays in it. Now transition to outside zone 4. Dylan, a great lead run.
Yeah.
But again, just with the abbreviated first run, you have to assume that is going to be. Would love to take him down across the nose. That Ford Mustang goes to Drip HQ BMW. into that inside clip. James Dean, a little tighter line. Now to outside zone 3 goes Adam. Big angle from Adam LZ. Hanging it all the way out there goes Adam. James Dean drops into formation. Watch the transition. One last outside zone for glory. For James the Machine Dean. Does he get it done? We got wheels off. We got tires off. We have dirt. But now Odie has some things as well as he goes into the back of Tommy Lemaire. Now,
I wonder if the car is having some heat issues, but let's take a look here. So this looks good. Tommy, oh man,
it didn't look like Tommy did anything wildly uncharacteristic.
No, but I think Tommy could have been a little bit, oh no, he was going to angle for outside zone 1. He was on the correct spot. I just think Odie.
Every loss is the end of a season, so we kind of bid you adieu as far as competition on track, but Osoli doesn't want to say goodbye at all, neither does Jonathan Castro. Osoli, look at the aggressiveness, goes into the wall, he taps it. Now keep in mind, he taps the wall, but was he in that outside zone? The walls are there to save the cars, but he keeps exceeding that outside zone. You got to take in that consideration. How does that throw off the chase car? And we really set precedence at round 1 and set that own smoke trail. So here goes D-Maz in outside zone 2. And Matt Field giving him a little bit of space here. And now you can see it looks like he's progressively getting close. Oh, and Mads loops it. Derek Madison seals his own fate. All new Z, here we go. Austin Mata gonna chase him down. Here comes Forsberg. Across the nose of that S chassis. Chris goes in that second outside zone. Austin.
Oh.
And it looks like we might have gotten a little tire contact with Austin coming in.
Chris looking good there. And yeah, Mata just super far on the inside. And as he sinks.
Big to welcome his second child into the world. Shannon, our heart goes out to you. And hope everything goes smoothly. Love you, Shannon. All right, here we go. Vaughn getting Jr. into that outside zone. And Ryan Turk gives back just a little bit. Ryan Turk. He needs to get there. Oh! Vaughn, where you going? Vaughn just slides so, like, that was slow motion. And Ryan Turk will get the advancement. What happened there for Vaughn getting Jr.? And Ryan doesn't need to continue on.
Second to be able to get into outside zone 2. 3 is looking good, but the car just washes wide, and he tries to throw the anchor out to slow it down, but either way, just the weight of that car is going to keep it pushing. And yeah, so he comes off throttle. It is possible that something may be shut down in the car.
With his brother Stookie. Where are you at, homeboy? Join the conversation. Jack Shanahan that wall. That got very sketchy. Woo. I was puckering up as Jack Shanahan leads in that BMW. Again, that tiny little Beamer. And a big dude, Jack Shanahan, into that outside zone. All of them obviously outside zones. Now coming into that last one right in front of the judges' stand. Brings on in Stookie. Little late to the party to be here. And Sam was a fantastic human being, played a major role in Long Beach Grand Prix. I want to send a shout out to the Cascadian family, love you. All right, here we go with our final battle. Waturo Masayama and Kenshiro Gushi. Gushi and Waturo get into it. Looks like Masayama shut it down. Big dynamic whoopses. It was just quick little things. But here we go. James Machine Dean goes in that first outside zone in the second. And Tommy Lemaire in so. Look at James Dean. How far out is he? And now look at, here we go, into 3 and 4. And now you can see him approaching that. Hit it and quit it, tapping out to the wall. I mean, just look at the execution of that Ford Mustang. And now into that final outside zone, transitions one last time, puts it on that back left edge, and just riding that course's edge up tight to the wall. Goes at first glance, it might look sensational, but you get overhead, you're like, ooh, he missed. Whoa! Just what I'm talking about. He exceeded that first or second outside zone. Not a merit. And again, losing those parts, James Dean, that allows him to catch up to him. So here comes James on in tow. And look at Tommy, some wavering. This is my exact point. Those little finite mistakes accumulate into one large mistake. building careers for the future. Here we go. We're talking about Hiroya Manoa and Shanahan. This was the battle you were talking about earlier. This very well could be a final battle here. Two absolute international superstars. Hiroya Manoa dragging bumper. Shanahan brings it around, trying to twist the screws on the young buck. He's young himself, but here he is being challenged by even a younger driver. As Manoa comes out last outside zone, Shanahan shredding that back bumper. Until this weekend, but here we go. Connor Shanahan initiates Hiroya Manoa, trying to give it back to the Irish driver. Hiroya trying to time it perfectly, going to the outside zone right in front of the fans. Now coming into the power alley, bang the straightaway. Looks like Connor tapped. Bro, we lost a tire. A tire is off. That back left of Shanahan, he's going to continue on, but you have to think with him losing that tire, that's got to affect Hiroya Manoa, but Shanahan keeps on keeping on. Almost 23 years. Here we go. Ryan Turk out front. That Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla. I mean, there's a Toyota-Nissan battle. Two legends. As Ryan Turk brings it into the outside zone, you can see Forsberg massaging it there. Forsberg backs off. Turk hits the wall. That corrects him out. So almost two negatives equal. Whoa! And we got contact. Turk was going into the wall. He comes. We're bashing. We're banging. Make some noise for Ryan Turk and Chris Forsberg.
And this is just adding to it.
And here we go. Let's take a look. Adam LZ, that Drift HQ. BMW, remember, he's fighting for second. Adam goes too hard.
Happens.
And that was not Jack hitting him at all. It looked independent.
He never liked winning this way. None of these drivers do, but I know for sure the Shanahans, there's no pride in winning like this.
Jack's like, I'll take it.
No, I mean,
no,
Adam,
that was independent.
It was independent. Adam, I mean, just not able to find the dig out of the hole, so he gets the car sideways, gets on throttle. He's on throttle fairly early, but the car just does not want to have the forward bite. And
what's interesting here is Frederick Osbo, the first time we got introduced to him, was driving a Mark IV Supra not far from here at a World Championship drifting event in a vehicle called Chucky. Now this thing right here, Hiroya taps the wall. Frederick Osbo unfazed, keeps on the rock star, rock solid, challenging this 16-year-old absolute young gun. But looks like Freddie Osbo, where there's smoke, there is fire. And get that chant going, American chant going here. All right, here we go. Ryan Turk out front, that Rain-X Toyota GR Corolla, the Rockstar headed string driver, trying to get on the box. Again, we saw him get the win in Seattle, and Matfield got it here. And buddy, contact.
Section transitioning out to 3, right, not quite all the way out there, and Matt is just surging. So I'm seeing tires smoke all the way through that area, but this view here might let us know. And they're in shadow, and the lights again. Tough to say. I wanted to see if maybe Ryan had a big handbrake pull through there. It still see the wheels turning in the rear. He's still turning. Oh, it's tough to say. The car just kind of
basically field is locked in at second, I believe. Let's just talk about the battle right now. Here we go. Hiroya Manoa in Juga Racing, Jerry Yang Racing, 3M 86, leading out James Dean, that champ. Again, here goes Hiroya. A little bit of hiccup there. Hiroya almost had a bit of a stutter step into that first power alley outside zone. James comes to a halt. Uncharacteristic from the champ. Hiroya Manoa continues on. And potentially love to get a win and end this. I mean, everybody would. Obviously, that goes unsaid, but I just gotta say it. Jack Shanahan out front, Ryan Turk in that chase position. Look at the timing there. Talking about those whiskers, the drift whiskers, feeling the sensors. Into that power rally goes Shanahan, now transitioning, diving in as Ryan Turk into that second last outside zone. It loops it. Ryan Turk as well, and Turk. What happened there? That got super sketchy. Turk.
Now Jack Shanahan getting very comfortable through 5. Now we're 4, now transitioning to 5 and into 6. Was there contact? There might have been.